Hi, today let's create some structural elements like columns and beams. For better understanding, please do watch my previous videos. Here I am activating the ground floor plan. We have already created a 3 meter by 3 meter room. We will add these columns in these corners and we will make the room much more bigger and connect these columns with structural beams. Now I am deleting these existing walls, windows and doors. Select this already created IFC floor slab, tab into edit mode and let's increase the size. You have to press tab key 2 times. Now select these vertices, press G and lock in Y axis and move it 6 meters in the positive Y direction, and select these vertices, press G and lock it in the X direction, and I am entering a length of 12 meters here. Press tab to get out of the edit mode. We need to increase the camera size also. You can change the camera width and height here. I am making it as 15 meters by 9 meters. Select the camera, press G and you can also adjust the location of the camera. Now let's create a column. You can select this column tool here. On the top you can see the type manager. You can create a new IFC column type. Before that, let's create a new IFC profile type. Go to the geometry and materials tab. Towards the bottom you can see the profiles tab. Click the button here. From the list you can select IFC rectangle profile type and click the add button here. A new profile has been created. Let's edit that. Let's edit the profile name to 40 cm square and let's change the X and Y dimensions to 0.4 meters by 0.4 meters. Now go to the type manager and click create new IFC column type. Here you can enter the name of the column type and below in the predefined type you can select column, and in the representation you can select extruded profile. After that we can select the profile we just created. Just click this refresh button to see the item. We can see this column type is active. To add the column, go to project overview tab, select the ground floor and set default. You can click the add button here or you can just press shift A. Now I'm clicking the add button here. Now we can see the column have been appeared. You can move it to the desired location and press the left click button. You can enable the snap to correct the position of the column. Sure, you press G and lock it in either Y axis or X axis. To create a copy of the column, you can press the column and shift D to duplicate it. After pressing shift D, you can press Y to move it along Y axis and just snap it in the other corner. To select all the columns, now I will show a hack. So select any one column and then go to the object information tab. Here you can see a select IFC class button here. You can click that to select all the IFC column class in this drawing. Press shift D to duplicate these two and let's move it to the other corner. You can create one more copy and let's snap it in the middle of the span. Now let's activate the orthographic view. Let's adjust the camera width, camera height and the camera location. Press the backtick key and go to the left side view, or you can go to the front view. You can move the roof slightly upwards by pressing G and Z axis. Now let's edit the roof by clicking tab key, and in the vertex mode select these vertices and move it in the X axis, and you can select the other two vertices here and move it in the Y axis. Now the roof looks fine. In the same way I created the column type, let's create a new beam type. For that, select the beam tool, deselect the select item to go to the type manager. In the type manager you can select create new beam type. Here I am giving the name 40 by 40 cm beam. The extruded profile and 40 cm square profile is selected. Make the newly created beam active and let's create that beam here. I am activating the south elevation here in the drawings tab. We need to increase the previous camera size and location. I am adjusting that. You can change the width and height here. Press G to grab the camera and move the location of it. Now let's regenerate the view again by clicking the camera icon here. I am trying to create the beam at the roof level. Even though the roof level is at 3 meters, it is not correctly represented. But if you look at the column height, it's 4.43 meters. To select all columns at once, go to Object Information and select this icon, select IFC class. Now here you can change the height of the column and press the refresh button next to it. Collectively all columns has been resized to a height of 4 meters. Now let's readjust the roof level height. For that, go up to Project Overview tab and click here to enter 4 meters. Now if you go to the Drawings tab and regenerate the drawing, we can see the roof level has been shifted correctly to the right elevation. Now set the roof level to default in the Project Overview tab. After activating the orthographic view, select the roof and press H to hide it. Now let's create the beam here. For that, make sure the beam tool is selected. Press Shift and right mouse to make the 3D cursor snap here. Then you can press Shift A to create the beam. Now a green line appears. You can press the X key to align it along the X-axis. I am stretching the green line to the other end. Now let's go to the left side view. Here the beam center is at 3 meter level. We need to shift it above in the Z axis and correctly snap it on the top of the column. Go to the top view and let's duplicate this beam to the other side. For that, press Shift D and press Y to move it along the Y axis. If we look here, these 3 columns are not 4 meters. I think these were not selected when we changed the height in the elevation view. Only the front row was visible in the elevation view. Now Shift select these 3 columns and adjust the height to 4 meter here and press the refresh button. Here in viewport shading, I am changing the object color to random. Now we can view each object in different colors. Let's go to the top view and duplicate one of the beams. You can press Shift R to rotate it. Press G and the respective axis to move along and snap it in the edge. To trim this beam edges correctly, you can Shift select both of them and press Shift T. To view these shortcuts, press N key and select the tool tab here. Clicking Shift T creates a butt joint and Shift Y creates a meter joint. Now let's duplicate this beam also and snap it to the other end. Let's press Shift Y to create a joint here. Let's duplicate this beam once again and snap it to the center of the span. To make the beam centrally aligned with the column, you can Shift select both of them with the column highlighted and then click the center line here, or you can press Shift C. To correctly extend the shorter beam, select the shorter beam first and the longer beam next. Make sure the longer beam is highlighted. Then press Shift E to extend. Now the structural frame looks good. Let's create some walls. I am setting the ground floor as default. We need to create a 40 cm thick wall. Now the 40 cm thick wall is not available here. Actually it was a mistake. We have already changed the thickness of wall 200 to 400 millimeters, but we haven't changed the name to wall 400. You can see it here. The thickness is 0.4 meters here, but the name of the wall is wall 200. To rename it, press the settings icon here and select rename type. Now instead of wall 200, I am clicking wall 400. I am pressing OK. Let's select this type and make it active. Now let's add the wall by clicking Shift A. Press X to align it along the X-axis. The height of the wall is more than we need here. So to correctly change the height of the wall, select the wall and change the height here to 4 meters and click the refresh button. Now we can go to the plan view and activate the drawing. We can duplicate this wall by clicking Shift D and pressing X to move it along x-axis. You can snap the 3D cursor on this corner of this column and select the wall, then press Shift E to correctly extend it. I am going to the wireframe mode to easily select these two walls and pressing Shift D to duplicate this and copy this to the other end. Let's duplicate this one wall again and press Shift R to rotate 90 degrees. Snap it to this edge and correctly extend it along this wall. Again duplicate this wall to the other end also. Now let's go to the elevation view and we can see the roof has been not aligned correctly here. Press G and move it along the Z axis. To correctly move it, go to the wireframe mode and correctly align it. If we orbit around this drawing, we can't see the other end walls and columns. It's because the depth of the elevation view doesn't reach that much. You can change the depth of the elevation view here. I'm changing it to 15 meters. Now the elevation depth has been increased. When we activate the drawing again, we can see all the walls and columns we have created. To add a door here, you can press the door tool and let's snap a 3D cursor here. You can press Shift A to create and align the door here. The door is also visible in the plan view. Let's select these furniture elements. Either you can Shift Select or you can go to Object Information and select IFC class. Then all the objects in the view with same IFC class get selected. Now I am adjusting the location of these furniture elements. Let's create a drawing and view it here in the browser. We can see the column we have created and the brick wall has a different hatch. Now let's learn how to filter certain elements in a drawing view. For that, go to the orthographic view. I am selecting the orthographic view and let's create a copy of it. For that, you can select this duplicate icon here. Then it will ask should duplicate annotation. We don't have any annotation, so we are unchecking it. Now orthographic X view has been created. I am renaming the new drawing as structure. The idea is we only show the structural elements in this structure view. To filter these elements, you can scroll down a bit and we can see element filter here. You can press this plus button to add an include filter. Here you can select add search group, select class and select add filter. Now here you can type IfcBIM here. I am also adding another search group. Here I am typing IFC column. Let's create another one for IFC slab and select save include filter. Now in the structure view, we can see only the elements we have typed and filtered. We can create the drawing and view this SVG in a browser. By using this method, we can create multiple drawings with multiple filter properties, creating structural view, MEP view, etc. Thanks for watching, and for more tutorials, please do follow my channel.